Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to Commentators Corner for the British Grand Prix. A dramatic one, to say the least. Squeezy crashing out. My goodness, whose mic is that? He just deafened
Mine.
everybody.
I'll move away.
Uh,
That was my phone.
You've deafened everybody now. Anyway, British Grand Prix, Squeezy crashing out after an incident with Zenki. No doubt that's going to go to the stewards. And I can't imagine a man more surprised at this race win than Ollie. Ollie, first race win of the season. I can't say you were expecting it, and I don't think neither can you.
To be fair, I was just hoping for the podium because no doubt, and I had pace. I was closing up to them with them both having DRS, but I know they're battling. I'm not quite sure how my pace racked up against them, but I'm pretty sure we're all equal. Like I say, it wasn't as bad as Valtteri Bottas getting second because he wasn't. Well, Valtteri was miles off, but I wasn't miles off. I was literally right behind them, and lucky not to get collected. But I wasn't really looking ahead. It shot me a little bit because I changed my ERS on that. So.
And well, you look pretty comfortable in third place there with your teammate behind you. And I don't know if you caught that gap between you and your teammate after your 3-second penalty. 0.044.
Yeah, I saw that. I was keeping an eye on the gap for the last six laps. I was like, I've got a penalty. I was like, if I can keep this around this gap, I'll be all good. Then all of a sudden, in the last 2 laps, he gained 7 tenths in me because I'm just making sure I don't bottle it really. Coming to sector 1 and see it's 2.99, and then I stick on overdrive, which and use all the fuel I had and ERS I had left. And thank God for that. But I would have been happy either way if Siege won because he would have deserved it as well as I.
And it was a good day for Red Bull all around, as well as yourself. You take second place in the drivers' standings so far. Red Bull take over second place. Good day all around.
Yeah, quite happy with that.
And we move on to the German Grand Prix next. Hockenheim. Fan of the track?
Yeah, it's a good track. Especially
And,
turn 1, it makes or breaks your lap in particular because everyone can be fairly equal, but just turn 1, it depends how much you attack, depends how fast you are.
And talk us through. Let's just talk us through your race at Britain, because I actually haven't asked you that yet. How do you feel you did out there today?
First stint I was making sure I didn't get damaged, just sitting behind them and keeping the DRS from Spike behind, I think it was. No, it was whoever the other Mercedes was, making sure I kept out of their DRS and kept in their DRS ahead. Making sure I didn't get any fights, just playing the long game. I got a few penalties, which I didn't feel was deserved because I saw Zenki going wide at Cops. Like much wider than I did. I went wide the slightest bit and I got 4 warnings from there, which I thought wasn't very nice. I feel unchecked. Zenki's race director as well didn't get any warnings for it, which I thought was rather unfair. Yeah, it was just staying behind. I boxed the same time as Squeezy, and I got held by Squeezy because he was obviously in the Mercedes and in the Red Bull, so it sucked. That was my whole start of the first stint, the second stint, just catching up to them, which wasn't easy, but it was fun.
And if you could sum up in one word when you saw that Squeezy retired from the session, what would it be?
Joy. Nothing against him. I was just happy to. I was almost happy to see him crash because nothing against him. I like him. It's just because he's a championship leader and it opens the championship up a little bit more, and it gave me and Spike the 1-2. So, but it should have been a 3-4 for Red Bull boys.
And let's move on to the obviously German Grand Prix. Back-to-back win on the cards, maybe.
You'd have to ask everyone else who's racing. Maybe slot a little DNF in their letterbox, and sure, why not?
And you managed to take a win at your not home Grand Prix. I apologise for Thursday.
It's fine. Yeah, it's not my home. It's not. I don't consider it my home. I don't consider having a home Grand Prix. So.
Well, you've come here. You've won the British Grand Prix, second place in the championship. Thank you for talking to us, Ollie, and we'll see you in Germany.
Cheers.
Next up in Commentators Corner is Pursuit. 1 point last time around, significantly more this time around. You must be pretty happy with that.
You can hear me this time, can't you?
Well, let me check.
Just want to make sure.
Yes, yes, we can hear you.
Sweet. Right. Yeah, probably the most boring race I've ever been in. I overtook 6 people on the first lap to get to P8. And then onwards, the front 7 were just building a gap. And then when I pitted, I saw I was in 7th. I was wondering why, but then I saw Dave M. I saw him just come out the pit lane, so I must have done 2 pits. He must have like crashed out somewhere. I'm not 100% sure what happened. And yeah, and then he doing this, so I was running 7th with a comfortable gap behind me. Then Squeezy retired. I don't know what happened either there. I heard that he closed, ain't we? Yeah, then pretty much, Mace had new tyres, 10 seconds behind, about 10 laps. It was catching about half a second lap, so I was quite nervous to see if he'd catch up, but I hung in there and his tyres kind of went off and brought it home for 6th place and 8 points, so I'm very happy.
Yeah, talk us through qualifying as well, because it said you got disqualified for parking in a dangerous location. Didn't see it on the stream, so I'm wondering if you could talk us through it.
I was an idiot. I won't be surprised if I get a penalty for my race for what I did. So what happened was, I set that first lap on the mediums. It was awful. It was like a 120 at 5. Not very good. Then I went for a second run on some sauce. Did my outlap. Yeah, well, I did my outlap. Then I went for my fast lap, and I went too far the last corner. Then it got invalidated. Then there's about 6 minutes to go. I thought, might as well get back quickly, try and get another 2 runs in. Then turn 3, I cut the corner, the whole thing. Like, instead of going right, I just went straight on. Then the little slightly left corner, just before the straight, I kind of collided with Maze and destroyed his qualifying. And, yeah, his tyre kind of broke. So I said very sorry to him, and he said he weren't happy and you should think you're driving through.
Well, hopefully you won't get many incidents like that in Germany, at least. Moving on to Germany, how is it for you?
It's alright. Like Ollie said in the previous interview, you can make it the first corner. Like, you could be like half a second up before the first sector, and that's kind of like you're like made up or destroyed. So I'll also be time to more points. Again, and well done to Lighty as well today for 5th. That's 18 points today, so we're very happy.
Yeah, and the Force India team must be very happy as well with that good points haul. Talking, 2 points finishes in a row, could make it 3 next time around.
Hopefully, just hopefully, there's drama ahead of me that happens. That's what I'm hoping for.
Great stuff. And just a final one, predicted finish, Germany. Where would you like to finish?
P6 to P8. P6, 7th or 8th. That's my target.
Perfect. Well, thank you very much for talking to us, Pursuit, and we'll hopefully see you on Thursday.
See you Thursday, thank you.
And last up in Commentators Corner, it's 3rd place man, Spike. Spike, in qualifying there, looked like you just ran wide on that final lap at turn 15, invalidated the lap. Can I just ask, were you up on your delta?
You can ask. Yeah, of course I was, mate. I was over half a second up. So, yeah, that would have been P2. Quite easily, to be honest. So, yeah, disappointed. I shouldn't even really push that hard. I was like, but you want to get every 100th, don't you? So, yeah, just literally, I mean, I wasn't even, it's not even a cut or anything, is it? It's just literally running fractionally wide. So, I mean, whatever. Yeah. So, P4 start.
A P4 start, obviously you had that little battle early on. At the end of the day, P4 must have been a relief in qualifying because obviously you weren't involved in that incident that happened up ahead.
Um, Relief. No, do you know what? I'd rather have been battling for the win and have an incident than what ended up happening for me, basically. So, yeah.
And yeah, just talk us through the rest of your race then, Spike.
Reasonable start. Siege got a flyer. I had to defend him into T1. And then I was the first stint. I just thought, you know what? I'm not even going to try and battle the three head. I'm just going to sit back and just try and keep my tyres. And so that's exactly what I did. And then pitted, and then jumped Ollie. So the sound of it, he got held up in the pits. I did wonder why he was behind me. And then he obviously DRS'd me to turn 3, or whatever it is, turn 4, I don't even know what it is, into, Mago, whatever it's called. I can't remember core names. So I didn't even bother to fight it because I was on cold tyres. And then, as he passed me, I got a rather large FPS stutter and lag, which made me run wide, and then that let Siege through. Frustrated, but that's okay. I mean, I was still behind him, and yeah, obviously the tyres were still coming up at that point. And then through Stowe corner, was this not Stowe? Which one is it? What was the old fast first corner? I can never remember which one it's called. Cops. That's it. Cops. Stowe's the end of Hanger Straight. I always get those two mixed up. And then through there, it happened again. And this time it put me wide onto the curb. And then it did it again, and I nearly crashed, to be honest. I was very lucky not to hit the wall. Very lucky. Literally just had to, get right out of it, brake hard. And then that was it, because then I lost the DRS to Siege, and yeah, he had DRS with Ollie, so they just pulled each other away from me, and I was 3 seconds behind then. So then the rest of the race was pretty boring, to be honest, after that. I mean, I was fractionally faster than Siege at points. But other points he was fractionally faster than me, so it was kind of cat and mouse a little bit. I closed the gap to 1.5 seconds at one point, and then I guess I had to save a bit more than he did at one lap, and he just pulled the gap again to 2, and then yeah, it was pretty boring to the end of the race. I mean, I didn't really overtake anybody. I overtake Maze, but he hadn't pitted yet, so it was pretty easy pass. And then obviously Zenki had damaged front wing, so again that was candy from a baby really. So yeah, disappointed. Without that, this game, we all know how this game's not the best and not the most stable. If that hadn't happened and I stayed with Siege, then we could have had a good battle to the end. And obviously then, well, who knows, but yeah, I had the pace to be there or thereabouts. And unfortunately, I got cost by that small issue.
And obviously, third place today. Mercedes drop in the constructors' points. You yourself drop down to third. Still a long season ahead, though.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't really matter about the constructors too much, unless we have an absolute implosion before the end of it. I don't see anybody catching us, to be honest. Yeah. In an ideal world, it'd been better for me to come out just behind Ollie, not just in front of him. So that would have been better because then I'd have DRS. But never mind. Yeah, the way it goes, where the cookie crumbles. Yeah, I don't see any issues going forward. We've got the pace, both me and Squeezy. It's just slightly frustrating that yet again in qualifying I couldn't produce the lap that I should have done. So, apart from that, not too bad.
And Hockenheim then, what do you think of the track?
Yeah, it's a good track. Yeah, it's a good circuit. I'm not entirely sure how good I am around it. I haven't really done it that many times. It's one of those circuits you don't really practice very much of. So we'll see. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It'll be how many times can I not cut turn 1 and get penalties?
I think that's going to be a similar story up and down the grid. But thank you very much for talking to us, Spike, and we'll see you on Thursday at Germany.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
And that then wraps up one dramatic British Grand Prix. And as I said, the next time we go live is once again on Thursday. We head to the German Grand Prix at Hockenheim. And a little birdie told me that Andy might be joining me back in the box on Thursday night. You never know. You can also watch on Friday TTFL with Malk in the box. from 7:55 BST. Yeah, we have to say BST now. And then on Saturday, Andy commentates over the TT Project Cars, the Formula C cars, and you can catch that at 7:55 BST with Andy in the commentary box. And then it is on Sunday TTL F2 with Cats and Jacks. You can catch them and the races there. The two 25% races at Britain and Germany. Make sure you do subscribe to the channel as well and hit the notification bell so you're notified every time we go live. Follow the league on Twitter. It's at TTL_F1. You can follow me whilst you're there as well. It's at KSMCGF1. Until next time, I've been Kieran McGinley. You've been watching. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you next time.